So
first of all, we have to put some butter in the pan because you're using soup. You're making it for soup.
welcome to Osmond by my side. Today we are going to be making borscht soup and a roast with my Gramma Deitz. And Grandma, you are officially 90 years old.
Not for 3 more weeks.
3 more weeks. Now, Grandma, wait, so this is the roast pan that you're using?
Yeah, that's just to brown my meat. That's just for browning the meat.
Okay, so we're gonna sear the outside.
Yeah.
Okay. There. Now we got a topping.
Now when you have that meat, when you put the meat in there,
Mm-hmm.
then you put some salt and some seasoning on there. And,
Yeah.
and I would say I'd use about a tablespoon of salt.
So she's using, so this is the old school of cooking. You just, tablespoon is, you reach in and you just kind of look at the meat and how much salt is on it.
Yeah.
And I can get out of the way.
Turn this for me, will ya?
Do that. Do you have a hot pad?
Yeah, I'll get some.
Okay. You want me to flip it all the way to the side or to the side like that?
No, all the way.
All the way? Okay. It's searing good. There we go. So all we're doing is searing the meat. When I do a slow cooked roast, I do the same thing. When you do a roast, you want to sear.
This is good enough here.
Okay, now what do we do? Throw it in the oven?
No. You take it and put it in the slow cooker. Here, right here. Here.
Yep, okay, I got it.
And you put it right in the slow cooker here.
Oh, literally a slow cooker.
Yeah. That's the way I do it.
So when I think of slow cookers, I think of like a pot or like a crock pot, but yours is like an actual
And then I take,
slow cooker.
I put some spices on there.
And what are we doing for spices?
Thyme.
Thyme?
Yeah.
So we got thyme.
And I can't use pepper because I'm allergic to it, but I'll put pepper on it today.
Well, you don't have to put pepper on there, Grandma.
Okay, I won't, because then I can...
I know that your cooking is good.
I have to put this on here because...
Do they still sell these types of things?
Oh yeah, and they're really great. You don't have to fuss with it.
See, us modern day cookers were lazy. We use crock pots for roasts.
Well, that's the same thing.
Yeah, this is just like the original crock pot from back in the day.
Yeah. And put it on high. We want to be sure that the meat's done by the time.
There's no light or anything?
No, it's just put it in there and forget about it.
Okay, so our roast is started and we're just going to forget about this for 4 to 5 hours. And that is the first part.
About 4 hours.
4 hours. And that's the first part of our roast with borscht soup supper for Sunday Easter dinner tonight with my Gramma Deitz, and my parents will be showing up later.
Yeah. And then we have to get the veggies out.
All right.
And we start out with carrots usually.
So you can see we're going to be making borscht soup. So that is a vegetable beet soup. We have 2 beets, a couple potatoes, 4 carrots, an onion, and a cabbage.
And then we put about 3 cups of cabbage, cut cabbage in there too.
Okay.
So.
And then the idea of this soup is my grandma's recipe is more Ukrainian German, and I love it. And I've never had any borscht soup that tastes quite the same, and I like this recipe. So she's going to teach me how to cook it, and we're going to learn it on Osmond by my side.
And everybody likes it. I have never had a person that came unexpectedly or anything that didn't like it and asked for seconds, you know.
Well, I always ask for seconds.
Yeah. We'll do the carrots first.
All right. Let me cut right on these.
No, don't use that. Use one of these. Which one do you feel more comfortable with? Okay.
So I have never used a carrot peeler. And Grandma I was wondering, I was thinking about this. So you are 90 in 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and I just turned 41. And we were teasing your youngest daughter last night by text message how when you decided that after you had Aunt Teresa, you had enough children. Well, I was just thinking about this because out of all my aunts and uncles, there's my mom, Aunt Mary Jo, and then there was Mike, and you said Richard,
Yeah.
and then it was Aunt Elizabeth.
Yes, Betsy was next.
Betsy, okay, and then there was it Julie or Jim?
Jim.
Jim, then Julie, and then Aunt Teresa.
Yeah.
8 kids.
Yeah.
At 40 years old, all under 10 years old.
Yeah.
I have 2 dogs,
Yeah.
Oswin and Karma.
Yeah. You have more work with your dog than I do with those 10 kids, those 8 kids.
So when they were 10 and younger, could you tell how they were going to end up as adults? Like Jim being an artist and Mike being a physician or a physician assistant?
No.
No?
Never. I just was glad that they were all healthy and they were all full of pea and vinegar too. But our kids were always good and they always liked each other.
Yeah.
You know, we had a really happy family. Well, like everybody, you have sometimes that are kind of hectic, but most of the time the kids got along really well.
Yeah. And how much with my mom being 10 and Grandpa being an over-the-road salesperson, how much did she have to help out as far as the cooking? 'Cause she's a really good cook too. Her and Aunt Mary Jo are the 2 best cooks of the family. That's what I've been told.
She didn't know very much about cooking then because I loved to cook, so I pretty much cooked all the time. And I didn't really ask them to help me with cooking, but you know, if you like to cook.
They just got it from you,
Yeah,
both of the old sons.
I think that's
No.
wash those.
Those are washed.
Okay, now I'll cut them up.
Okay, on this tech thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
These plastic placemats are handy food burgers.
And you want, this is an okay size, right? But you want them thin,
Thin, yeah,
because that way they're softer when we eat.
yeah.
Okay.
Not too thin. No, about a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, because you like that.
Yeah, about 1/8 of an inch, yeah.
Yeah. I just know from when I do my fish stew, how big, if they're too thick, they don't soften up.
Yeah.
But
Well, you don't show on this camera. You're not showing on here.
I'm right
Oh,
here.
yeah, I guess you are. Yeah.
So I'm right there.
Okay. Well, when you edit, you can edit out the stuff that we don't want to have in there.
Yeah, no, so a lot of this, we started cutting. Some of it's going to be edited out. Everybody knows that because we're going to try to make a decent length video that people will watch and say, oh, I can make borscht soup and a roast for my kids tonight. And especially the other aunts and uncles and your grandkids that have always wanted to learn how to make your borscht soup. Because I know my sister, David, we all love your soups. We come home for holidays because then it's one of the things, are we eating at Grandma's? And it's, are we going to have apple pancakes or crepes or borscht soup? When my sister visited with Jade and Noah about a month back, did they get apple crepes or what did they eat with you?
What did we have that day? Well, we ate out a lot. We ate at the Italian.
That a new Italian place in town?
And they ate before they came, and then they were just here overnight.
So Summer and Elby, some of the farther away grandkids. I know Alexander has visited in the last couple of years, but you should come up and make some food with Grandma. Yeah. That goes, let's see here, think of all the ones that live far away. One of my favorite cousins that I just met this summer for the first time.
Alexander?
Not Alexander, Alexander's younger sister.
Julia?
Julia, who surprisingly, she and I have a lot in common. she lives in one of the biggest and wealthiest cities in the world, and that's San Francisco, and a successful sales lady. So she does her stuff around there. But if you want to learn how to make good borscht soup, watch this video. And if you want to learn how to make apple crepes, come visit Grandma in Grand Forks or Grafton, North Dakota. And then, but then also there you've got all the you see Jenna and
Justin and Elise.
You see them all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. It's because we're the best cousins or best grandkids.
Well, you're the closest. That's why.
I'm not that close.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
I will be if I end up moving to Minnesota.
Well, I'm always glad to see you.
And then there's the carrots. So carrots are done.
What do we got here? We should have more.
Okay, so grab one or two more carrots.
I think one more.
If we start with my mom, when's the first time you started cooking with her, and then go to Mary Jo, and then...
Well, I didn't cook with the kids.
Never?
Never.
Because
no.
Aunt Mary Jo and my mom are the cooks that I know of.
They just didn't want to be bothered with that, and I had them doing a lot of things for me, though. They had to help me a lot. But cooking was not their... I'd always say, I'm cooking, you guys got to do the dishes.
Well, that's Aunt Mary Jo's rule.
I had lots of gripes about that, but...
I remember growing up once, my mom said, "I'm done. You kids do the dishes." She had to take a drive around town. She was fed up with of having to do everything. And then my dad after that said, "You kids are in charge of dishes." And now we're on the beets.
Okay.
So with these, you just chop the ends off?
Yeah.
Okay. Both sides?
Yeah.
If I remember right, you get really red fingers when you're cutting beets, right?
Yeah, it washed it off. It's not there permanently. You can peel them now.
Oh wait. Oh, with the peeler?
Yeah. You could. I use a knife, but you can use whatever you want to.
Well, you just taught me how to use this thing. Yeah, Mom told me to bring the knife sharpener over. I like really sharp knives. She said, "Elbert, bring the knife sharpener over. Your grandma hasn't sharpened her knives in 2 years," and I completely forgot.
Oh, baloney. She always says things about me that are not true. She makes me feel like a dumbbell.
I don't think that. I don't think she thinks that, Grandma.
She doesn't think that, but that's the way I feel sometimes. Don't tell her I said that either.
We won't tell her you said that, Grandma.
Oh, I didn't know it was on the camera. Oh my. That's not fair.
I'll edit some of it out. I'm pretty sure you both love each other.
Oh yeah, I do. I mean, I really love my kids. I love Patty especially because she's my firstborn.
How do you feel about that, Aunt Mary Jo? I'm saying you should see Grandma's face. You can't see it in this angle. She's getting all red. Here, we gotta get a better angle here. There, I can reach over.
I'm not going to say another word.
I was just wondering when you could start telling what your kids were going to end up being. Oh.
No, you can't tell that.
Like I look at my dad and have people say that he and I are very much alike. And I was wondering, like, when do those traits start to come out? Is it when they're in their teens?
No, you are a lot like your dad, but you got a lot of your mother in you too.
Yeah, well, we're both dyslexic.
And that's it's not a crucifix, I'll tell you. I'm dyslexic too.
I know. She got it from you. I got it from her.
I'm a lot smarter than a lot of. Take that back.
It's all right to be honest. It's good to have confidence. When you lose confidence in life, then you get sad and depressed. Well, that red is just coming out.
Well, don't wash them all out.
Well,
We watched them before, so.
you've lived a good life. You raised 8 kids. You have, let me see here, 4 grandkids in my family. Then you have Elise and Jenna. Aunt Teresa has 4 sons. Then you got Georgie. You got Summer and Elby. And then Uncle Mike has 2 sons and a daughter. So that's 4, 2.
Cut these.
You bet. How many grandkids do you have?
Now that you should get no. Just keep slicing them the same way, because
yeah, like this.
Yeah. There's tricks to everything.
And I mean, you've got 4 generations, if I remember right. No, is it just 3 generations? Because
yeah, 3 generations.
3, yeah. Unless Jade ends up getting married really young, and then you'd be 4. But I don't think that'll happen.
I don't either. Okay, give me those, and I'll cut those.
And Jade watches all my videos, by the way. Do we want to go in squares? Is that what we're doing?
Just the same size as, I mean the same like
the carrots.
Carrots, yeah. Don't make them too big, because then you don't like it, but don't make them too small either.
Now we're making them in squares, though, right? Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
Well, those are big chunks.
Well, no, they're not.
Well, no, like you can see, I did a lot smaller.
Oh, I don't want them too small.
Okay, I did it more on.
Oh, nothing's wrong when you make borscht.
Well, I can do them all, Grandma.
No, I'm gonna do them. I always do them.
I know, but this video is on my YouTube channel. I can cut this stuff up. Well, the way into heaven is through struggles. And today we're celebrating Easter. So you should look at it like this is a blessing, because I know that I'm going to get to heaven. You want this good knife? You're using that little dinky knife.
No, I like this little dinky knife. I can control it. Big man, big knife. Little person, little knife. I said, I challenge myself every once in a while.
Now, potatoes or cabbage?
Do the potatoes.
Okay, we've already washed them, so you want me to just cut them in squares like we did the beets?
And they have to be cut bigger. They have to be. When you get them peeled, then I'll tell you how.
Oh, we're peeling them too? Okay. It's just going to be a good cooking video. We're only going to put positive stuff in there. Things I would love to hear, positive memories of all my aunts and uncles and parents, and things that you're so proud about them for as we're cooking, because when you're cooking, it's about family and love. And Uncle Jim, we never mentioned this, but he has a daughter too. See, that's how little I know about Uncle Jim. He's out in California. He's a college professor. Now what are we doing?
Getting my cabbage ready.
Alright, so carrot, or should I wash those off?
Yeah, they have to be washed.
Yep. Now Grandma, when you do your will, I'm claiming the big cribbage board that I see in the next room.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but that Alan Webb made that for Ed.
Oh, so it's going to Daniel or Jacob?
Yeah, I think it would have Dan, because
Yeah. Is Dan a cribbage board player?
I don't know, but I'm not. I'm sure that. I would like to give it back to Alan.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. If he made it, yeah. So is this the right size? This size?
No, it's too small.
That's too small. Oh.
Yeah.
So like that size?
Yeah, just in half. You don't like too many potatoes in there because it's starchy and.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they have salt.
So, and then the cabbage is about like this.
Okay, just show the camera.
Yeah. But I slice it and then I cut it in half like this.
Because that's going to shrink in the soup.
Yeah, and you don't want too much of it, you know.
And you're only doing, what, a third of that cabbage, or are you going to do the full cabbage?
Well, I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I want 3 cups.
3 cups, okay. And this is enough soup for 4 people.
No, it's enough for Well, 4 big eaters, I think, but
So we get to eat the cabbage as we cook?
you can have all you want.
This is the preparing of the vegetables for borscht soup with Gramma Deitz.
Onion is bigger than like the cabbage, you
Oh,
know.
big. Okay.
Okay.
So, if you can see, all we're doing is you take the onion, you cut it in half. Then you cut it in one more half, that half into half, and then 3s. 1, boom, boom. So you have big chunks of onion for your soup.
Kind of. And that's not quite a cupful, is it?
Oh,
No.
well, it is, but
I think we put a little bit more in there.
okay.
Just for good measure.
Well, I like onion.
Yeah, but soup, it's a balance of all these different things
Right.
that make it so good, you know.
Yeah, if you get too much onion, instead of being a beet borscht soup, you're having an onion soup.
Like
Oh, I'll
that.
leave this to the side, okay?
And then I put mixed pickling spices.
Pickling spices. Pickling spices.
You can buy them in smaller amounts.
Well, I've never bought pickling spices, so.
Well, you haven't lived. You have to put it in.
And then that's a tea thing that you're putting in.
Yeah.
So that way it's not actually in the soup, because it's going to just cook in with the soup
Yeah,
when it's
yeah.
not. Okay. So if you get into pickling spices, then you'll also get into drinking more fresh tea.
I don't think so, but you just fill it half full.
Half full. Do you want to show the camera?
Yeah, half full.
Half full. Okay. So we have our vegetables ready. Do you want to hand me the beef broth, Grandma?
I'll put that in the kettle.
Or I'm just going to show it for the camera.
Did you did you bring your pot?
No, I forgot all of that
Okay,
stuff. That's why I forgot the beef broth. And so, is there any other ingredients to this soup?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Okay, so we have tomatoes yet, but do we add those right away, or not? Those are later?
Right away.
Okay, so we'll wait. We'll get all the ingredients together before we dump it in the pot. Now, who helped you with this kitchen, with the up higher part? Didn't you? Was it?
Taking the doors off?
Yeah.
Grandpa did it.
Oh, okay.
And then after he passed away, we had it. I had it like that when he was, but it was still yellow.
Well, it's beautiful though.
But now when I had it painted, the girls painted in all white in there.
And that was Jenna and Elise, or
No, Julie and Teresa.
Julie and Teresa. Okay.
And then your mom and dad came over and helped, and everybody helped put the kitchen back together. And Mike put some of these handles and stuff.
Okay.
And so it was a kind of a family project, except Mike and Jim, the 2 boys in the family that I would always expect to be helpful, are never around.
It was all the girls, all the ladies in the family. Yeah.
So anyway, this is what I do.
Beef broth.
2 cups of water.
We have both cans, one petite diced and one whole.
Now
All right, so you can see we did our preparation work. And at this point, we have the beef broth in the bowl, our tomatoes ready to go, our vegetables, carrots, potatoes, beets, cabbage, onions, and we have about an hour, and it's 1:05 right now, and it only cooks on the stove for an hour?
Hour and a half.
An hour and a half. And our dinner is not till 5:30. So we're gonna shut that camera off, and you'll see us back at 3:15, 3:30 to get everything into the pot of beef broth. And at that point, we'll throw it on the oven and
On the stove.
on the stove, and we'll cook it for an hour and a half. And then you'll see us taste the borscht soup with our roast that is in the background, right there. I'm doing all this with our camera, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be my Gramma Deitz famous borscht soup recipe with a beef roast. All right, we are turned on, and we're gonna start adding the vegetables.
Yeah.
We're just throwing everything into the chicken in the bowl right now, and then we'll be done. And then we have to wait an hour for it to cook, or an hour and a half, right, Grandma?
Yeah. Instead of 2 cans of this, because 2 cans is too much, so
So you're a can and a half of the diced tomatoes.
Yeah, I'd say just get a large can.
Okay.
A large can of tomatoes is enough.
So now we have the borscht soup on the stove. You turn down the temperature from high, there's boiling, to about medium to a 6.
Fresh dill.
Okay, so we're gonna add some fresh dill to the soup.
Yeah.
And how long do we have left on the soup now after we added that fresh dill?
About 45 minutes.
Okay.
Now I put some dry onion soup in this, and I put some of the beef broth from the roast in here.
Okay, and what's that for then?
And that's for my meat.
Oh, that is for the roast.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is for the roast.
And the roast is done.
It's done, but now I'm going to finish it up.
Okay. So I've never finished roast off this way, so that must be why yours always has it's juicy and good.
I like roast done. This isn't quite as done as I'd like it, but it's really good.
Well, Grandma, you look really good on camera.
Thanks. Butter will get you everything. Well, I'm going to put a little more water in the soup.
And that's just, you just thought it was running a little thick?
Yeah. When you open this?
Yes, that's what I'm here for. I can do all of it. You just can tell me this is why you do stuff.
Yeah, you just pour half of that in there.
Okay.
Then we'll see how it looks. That's about half.
That's about half,
Yeah.
yep. Then we stir.
Stir it around. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
That looks perfect. So if anybody's wondering, we're going to do a close-up here. And you can see the pinkness with the cream in the borscht soup. So it's not... In borscht soup, it's a beet vegetable soup from Russia, from Germany. And this is Ukrainian German borscht soup.
Okay, and it's all ready to go. So we can have supper as soon as those guys are here and ready to go.
Oh, I thought we had to wait 10 minutes once the cream was in there.
Yeah, we do, but...
The borscht soup. Tasting shortly.
So, Howard, did I tell you about the first time I had borscht soup? I went over to see your mother. We were dating, and it was noon hour. And your grandma said, "Well, Michael, would you like some soup?" And I said, "No, thank you. I don't like soup."
Liar.
That's what I said. And she said, "Well, why don't you just try it?" And so I did. 3 bowls later.
Well, this is one of my favorite soups, I know that.
I decided I loved Grandma's soup.
Oh, that's in the Holy Spirit, amen.
Bless us, O Lord, for these thy gifts
which we are about to receive from the bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen.
The other person that was a surprise with eating borscht soup was your cousin, David Schnettler, when he was just a little boy and he came to visit and Mom had made her soup. And he wasn't going to eat it, and he also ate like 3 bowls.
Yeah, everybody said, you want more than that. And he said, oh no, he just wanted to live.
He was about 6 or 7 years old.
We are back with Ozan by my side. The plate is plated. We've got the roast, we've got the borscht soup, we've got my grandma and myself in the background, the cooks of this meal. And this is the taste test.
Yeah. I'll take care of
Gramma Deitz borscht soup. Excellent.
Excellent. As good as always.
God is good. Enjoy life. Love life. Ozan by my side. See you on the next channel.